Former North Dakota Republican lawmaker has pled guilty to paying for sex with a minor and for distributing and receiving child sexual abuse material, otherwise known as child pornography. But again, can't really have child pornography, can we? His name is Ray Holmberg. He is 80 years old now, and he served in the North Dakota legislature for 45 years. This is the longest serving state Senate career in our nation's history. Here he is. Prosecutors say in a statement that Holmberg repeatedly traveled to Prague in the Czech Republic from June 2011 to November 2016 for the purpose of paying for sex with a person under 18. The indictment, which also suggests Holmberg uses aliases, said he received and attempted to receive images that depict child sexual abuse from November 2012 to March 2013. Now, he resigned in 2022 before he was actually indicted because there were text messages found that he sent to someone who was currently in jail on child sexual abuse image distribution. So he's sending this person text messages. He resigns. But there's some investigation that gets opened up, and he is indicted in last October of 2023 for, again, travel with intent to engage in illicit sexual activity and attempted receipt of child sexual abuse material. The sentencing is gonna happen this fall. There's no minimum prison time for the travel part of eliciting sex with a minor, but for receipt of child sexual abuse material, maximum penalties are 30 years in prison, $250,000 fine, and a lifetime supervised release, according to the document. Prosecutors, however, are going to recommend only, it's not what it says, but a prison sentence of roughly 3 to 4 years. So, got off pretty light.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
I do want to mention around in his career, although this guy Holmgren didn't oversee this, Holmberg, didn't oversee it. North Dakota has been passing anti-gay legislation at a rapid pace. In 2023, they made a national record for passing 10 bills on one day. Anti-gay bills. 8 of them included a broad measure that would ban adult-oriented performances on public property or in front of minors, in other words, drag shows, which could restrict many forms of drag. Some of the bills passed with veto-proof majorities, including one that would restrict gender-affirming medical care for minors, and another that would ban transgender students in public and private K-12 schools and colleges from playing sports on school teams that align with their gender identities. And again, 9 of those 10 were actually signed by Doug Burgum, the governor of North Dakota, and who honestly moved way right on this issue when he wasn't there. But guys, this is just another Republican, the longest serving state senator in this country, 45 years, and it just adds to the list. It's Roy Moore from Alabama. It's RNC staffer Ruben Verestegi, who was sentenced to 12 years for child sexual abuse material. Tony Lazaro, he was a GOP donor, 21 years he was sentenced to. George Nader, who was a former Trump donor, also a Hillary donor, 10 years in prison, again for child sexual abuse material distribution. So where are the groomers? They're in the Republican Party.
Yeah. Dennis Hastert, former Speaker of the House, molested young boys when he was a wrestling coach. Of course, Jim Jordan didn't do the molestation, but kids came to him and said, our coach is sexually abusing us, and he protected the coach. So as the Republicans are screaming, groomers and pedos, we gotta do something about them. Well, look around your caucus, and that would be a good place to start. Overwhelming majority of the politicians that we cover that we find out are pedophiles are Republicans. Overwhelming majority. So and it's projection, guys. Why are they always obsessed about like kids and genitalia and oh my God, oh yeah, I don't think that she's a girl. I want to check, right? And like, oh, what's going on in the boys' bathrooms in 4th grade? Right? And then, oh, look at that. It turns out that's what's top of mind for them all the time. They think everybody else is groomers because they're groomers. They think everybody else is pedos because they're pedos. And they think, well, everybody must be thinking like me. No, we don't think like you. You've got that problem. So, by the way, this guy's just awful in every way and covering up in every way. Before he was a politician, he was a high school guidance counselor. And he emphasized as he was pleading guilty, like, no, the trip started after I retired, which made me think, oh no, they started before. And then they asked him about the Czech Republic, because that's the one thing that he's admitting to. He's like, well, I took a lot of trips to Europe, it's true, and to different places, but it was mainly Czech Republic. I was like, oh, it was everywhere. So this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Does anyone else have serious stuff to say about this? Because all I have are jokes. Francesca, do you have anything serious? Okay, cool.
I mean, thank you, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 42.
Lighten it up. We need to lighten it up.
I'm 42 and everyone 25 and under looks like a child to me. So like you're 80, I feel like if you found a 38-year-old, it would still get you off. Also, there's so much.
Or get you arrested. It should get you arrested.
Should get you. That's better. That's it. There it is. That should get you arrested. Great. Love it.
I don't want to think about this guy getting.
Print it. Tweet it. The other thing is like there's so much depraved crap you can do in Prague. Like I have two like gay friends who went to Prague and there was just a dark room with no lights and foam and everybody was naked and they did crazy stuff. Like there's a lot of depraved, weird stuff that you can do that's totally legal all over the globe. Don't do this. Go find something else, like do some absinthe, do that. But like, I don't know. The serious thing, however, is like every single accusation is a confession, especially when people like cloak themselves in the cloth of religion and try to pretend to be the moral majority. Like this is the stuff that's all too, like, I hate to use the word perfect, but it just, as they're passing those laws, they're breaking them. And it makes it even more perverted because they pass it and that makes it even more taboo. And their religion, I mean, I went to Catholic school. I love religion as like a way to just kind of codify what's good and what's not good to do. That's fine. But so much of it is just like this weird, kinky, like denying your own instincts that for these folks, it manifests in some pretty horrible ways.
Yeah, I mean, all I'll say is, to his credit, Holmberg wasn't the worst of this. Like his track record on LGBTQ issues actually wasn't bad. So that would really complete the story because usually every time there's a Republican pedophile, again, a number of the names that we mentioned, they're always talking about groomers. But I will just say, like, to the libs of TikTok, to Chaya Raichik, to all of the people who make drag shows into somehow about grooming children, where's your outrage? Just be fair, right? Democrats ousted Al Franken for an inappropriate joke photo. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Democrats are actually consistent. And every time, and during the Me Too movement, you saw this all over the place. Every time a Democrat or a liberal, or someone in Hollywood or whatever was held accountable for their actions, or at least was, taken down a peg, not everyone was held accountable. The Republicans, what was their answer? Bah, you admitted to it, you stupid idiot. Why would you admit it? Because we don't. We just lie and lie and lie, and we don't hold our own accountable. It's like, do you understand the hypocrisy? I'm not asking you to like stop throwing darts in the Democrats' direction, but at least be consistent. But they can't be because they can be the pedophiles, right? Peter Thiel can be gay. That's chill for Peter Thiel because he's a tech billionaire. Everybody else can't be gay. We have to pass draconian laws, anti-trans laws, anti-drag show laws. I'm gonna bankroll that. But me and my private life, oh, I'm sorry. No, American freedom for me.
Yeah, last couple of things are based on what you said. You said take him down a peg. I think that's a different thing he does. Okay. But the main point that Francesca is making is so important because if you say, I don't really care when Republicans do it, but I care when Democrats do it, that means you don't actually care about the issue. You only care about the politics. You're not trying to protect children, you're trying to hurt Democrats. So be honest about it. And so, and lastly, I don't want anybody to get confused. His votes on LGBTQ issues are about if he's a hypocrite because these are males, etc. But it has nothing to do with the pedophilia, which is awful, disgusting, and wrong no matter who does it. Yeah. And so, and they don't generally vote on those issues, but
no, but maybe they should.
Yeah, especially if they
need to clarify it.
If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.